The Wolf of Wall Street is a popular movie that tells the story of Jordan Belfort, a former stockbroker who made millions of dollars by committing financial fraud. The film is only loosely based on Belfort's book and his life story, as it omits many of the criminal activities that Belfort engaged in. In this video, we will provide a detailed summary of Belfort's career, the fraudulent practices he used to make money, and the 4 lessons we can draw from his life. Belfort started his career in finance as a stockbroker at L.F. Rothschild, a New York-based brokerage firm. In the 1980s, buying stocks was not as easy as it is today, and people had to call a stockbroker to place orders. Brokers would earn commissions on these trades, and Belfort quickly realized that he could make a lot of money by convincing clients to make more trades than they needed to. He later moved to an over-the-counter, OTC, brokerage firm called Investor Center, where he continued to engage in these unethical practices. OTC firms are different from exchange brokerages in that they do not use public exchanges to facilitate trades. Instead, companies approach these firms directly and offer to sell shares to the public. OTC firms set the initial sales price of these shares and then sell them back to their friends at a higher price, pocketing the difference as profit. They are not subject to the same level of regulation as exchange brokerages, which makes them more susceptible to fraud. Belfort used a variety of fraudulent practices to make money, including manipulating stock prices, creating fake companies, and lying to investors. He would often pressure clients into buying shares in companies that he knew were worthless or about to go bankrupt. He also employed a team of salespeople who used high-pressure sales tactics to convince people to invest in his schemes. Belfort and his team made millions of dollars in commissions and bonuses, which they used to fund their extravagant lifestyles. Eventually, Belfort's fraudulent activities caught up with him, and he was arrested and charged with securities fraud and money laundering. He cooperated with the FBI and served 22 months in prison. After his release, Belfort wrote a book about his experiences, which later became the basis for the movie. The Wolf of Wall Street has been criticized for glorifying Belfort's criminal activities and for inspiring a generation of unethical stockbrokers. However, the movie also serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed and the importance of ethical behavior in finance. After serving 22 months in federal prison for securities fraud and money laundering, he was also ordered to pay back over $110 million in restitution to victims. After his release from prison in 2006, Belfort has focused on rebuilding his career and reputation as a motivational speaker and sales trainer. He has also authored several books, including a sequel to his memoir, The Wolf of Wall Street, titled Catching the Wolf of Wall Street. Belfort has faced criticism for profiting off of his notoriety and questionable business practices, with some accusing him of continuing to promote unethical behavior. However, he has maintained that he has reformed and now advocates for ethical business practices. In 2021, Belfort announced that he was launching a cryptocurrency called Wolfcoin, which immediately drew criticism from some who saw it as a potential scam. Belfort defended the currency and claimed it was backed by a network of companies and assets, but its legitimacy remains unclear. Overall, Jordan Belfort's legacy remains controversial, with some seeing him as a cautionary tale of greed and corruption, while others view him as a successful entrepreneur who overcame his past mistakes. The lessons. The story of the Wolf of Wall Street offers several lessons that can be taken away. Some of these include: Lesson number 1. The dangers of greed. Jordan Belfort's story is a cautionary tale of what can happen when an individual becomes consumed by greed. His desire for money and material possessions led him down a path of corruption, illegal activity, and ultimately, prison. Lesson number 2. The importance of ethics and integrity. Belfort's story is also a reminder of the importance of ethics and integrity in business. In his pursuit of wealth, Belfort engaged in illegal and unethical practices, causing harm to many innocent people. Lesson number 3. The consequences of actions. The story of the Wolf of Wall Street illustrates the consequences of one's actions. Belfort's illegal activities eventually caught up with him, and he was forced to face the consequences of his actions. Lesson number 4. The power of redemption. Despite his past mistakes, Belfort has attempted to turn his life around and use his experiences to help others. His story serves as a reminder that no matter how far one has fallen, there is always a chance for redemption and to make positive changes in one's life. Overall, The Wolf of Wall Street story is a cautionary tale of the dangers of greed, the importance of ethics and integrity, the consequences of one's actions, and the power of redemption. Thank you so much for your interest, and thank you so much for making it this far. Please subscribe to our channel and like the video if it brings any value to you. Thank you.